Hey guys, welcome. This is Brad Krantz. Thanks for joining me for Monday Morning Leadership here on October 19th. And today I'm jumping back into 78 important questions every leader should ask and answer. And I'm looking at the question today. It's kind of interesting. Are you happy? This probably is a topic we hear a lot about, especially it relates to leadership. But I think it's important. So I want to share a couple different things from you or with you on that. I like what the author says here. She says that, let me admit right up front, this is a bias. Okay, I believe that fundamentally unhappy people make poor leaders. She said this statement might cause you to pause. If we were having a conversation, I'd be able to see a reaction in your eyes and I'd repeat myself for emphasis. So let me repeat. I believe that fundamentally unhappy people make poor leaders. And I agree with that. As I thought about that, I said, if you're fundamentally unhappy, how could you be a good leader or even a great leader? It's your unhappiness that's going to drive your emotions. You're going to have a lot of things, your self-awareness, all this that's going to delve into how you perform, how you act, how you behave as a leader. So I agree with that if you're not happy, you're going to make a poor leader. Okay. I like what she says here. What you might be asking, does this have to do with leadership, right? There's the $64,000 question. What does happiness have to do with leadership? Well, as I've heard before from people, glad you asked, said everything, I think. Happiness is born for optimism. Optimism is embedded in beliefs such as problems can be solved, right? If you have a negative mindset, your unhappiness drives you to be negative. It's going to be really hard to be optimistic, to be positive. It's going to shape your view and your performance, right? So you can't lead if you don't have faith in an uncertain future, right? Especially what we're dealing with today with COVID-19, the political, social, economic situation. If you're inclined to be very unhappy, that's going to drive how you perform and behave as a leader, right? So are you happy? Don't worry if your answer is no, okay? You can choose a different answer when you ask yourself this question again, and then get to work to make your answer true. So I'm going to jump from there. I'm going to return to this real quick. I think a quote that really delves into this nicely, but share a story with you here real quick. There's a famous Native American story which goes like this. You've probably heard some version of it. One evening, an old Cherokee tells his grandson that inside all people, a battle goes on between two wolves, right? We got one wolf is negative, anger, sadness, stress, contempt, disgust, fear, embarrassment, guilt, shame, and hate. The other is positivity, joy, serenity, hope, pride, amusement, inspiration, awe, and love. Okay, the grandson thinks about this for a moment and then asks the grandfather, which wolf wins? The grandfather replies, the one you feed. And I think that's spot on. So as a leader, the question to ponder here is, which wolf are you feeding? The one of negativity or the one of positivity? And that's really big. Think about that one. So I also want to go on to say happiness requires effort. Okay. In today's society, we could say now here in October 2020, people equate money and success with happiness. And this is a fallacy. In fact, 90% of happiness is based on your internal mental view of the world, call it your mindset, and how your brain processes what is happening to you. And with that, I want to go to a quote that Gary Vaynerchuk, he really talks about this a lot, and I think he's right on. He says, we should define success by our happiness, not materialism. Think about that. And he talks a lot about that. If we're defining success on materialism, he says, and I know too, a lot of people that are millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires that are unhappy, people that are making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year, by contrast, are happy. So having money, having success, in the leadership realm doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be happy. Especially if you're materialistically driven. I think really happiness comes from within. As a Christian, and my happiness and joy comes from knowing the Lord. But happiness itself, again, having a positive focus versus a negative focus is really going to play out into how you perform as a leader. So let's look at some tips for success in this area. If you want to change your setting for happiness, it's wise to take deliberate and planned action, right? Considering activities such as these in your day, right? So it's got a list of, I got 11 activities here. Craft a gratitude mantra. I just say positive affirmations that you say every day. I choose to be happy. I'm thankful. I'd say having an attitude of gratitude, being thankful for what you have, is going to go a long way to create happiness. Secondly, as part of the practice, focus on one of three things to be thankful for every day. Maybe, hey, it's a sun shining today. I had a great cup of coffee. Whatever it is, be thankful to be alive, which is not understating things, guys. We should be thankful that we are even alive each and every day, that God gives us breath. Okay, you can do this daily. You could write down your experience. If you want to journal, I'm not a big journaler, but some people are. There's really benefits to it. Thirdly, is spend time connecting with nature. And I can relate to this. Appreciate the grace and beauty of what is around you every day in the natural environment. So I love getting out, taking walks, riding my bike to just see the beauty out there. It's there if you're looking for it, especially fall with the colors, the leaves changing, all that. Beautiful time. And take time to pause. Okay. This can be a 5-minute pause. Look around you. What do you notice? And I do this a lot. It kind of drives my wife nuts, but I'm a noticer. I like to do that stuff. What do you feel? And connect your feelings with your environment. And then 4, this is real important. I can't stress this enough, especially those who are in the entrepreneurial realm as leaders. As you get older, exercise and meditate regularly. I'm going to stress the exercise. Build these routines so your activities are mapped out in advance and scheduled in your calendar. Exercise is important as eating and sleeping, guys. We have to exercise our bodies to keep and stay healthy, especially as we get older. We get certain, medical situations as you get older. It's really critical. So exercise really needs to be a part of your daily routine. And then with that, 5th, get 8 hours of sleep at night. And I generally do. It's good. Sleep is restorative, and your brain can't function without it, right? You can only go so long without sleep. It's hard to be focused, mindful, and reflective when you're tired. And I find that to be 100% true. If I have had a restless night, I'm thinking about too much, I get up early like I did yesterday, I'm just kind of tired and worn out through the day. So getting proper sleep, aside from what people say, some people get by in 4-6 hours of sleep. I'm not one of them. I think most people aren't. So I think sleep is really important as it goes toward your happiness and your happiness as a leader. And then 6th, again, with this, is eat well and drink lots of water to stay hydrated. Can't say enough about that. Eat right, eat whole foods, don't eat junk food, don't eat processed foods, guys. That's so important. Don't drink sodas, pop, whatever you want to call it. That stuff is not good. It's not healthy for your body. Water is what you should be drinking. That really does a lot. And 7, do nice things for other people. Go out of your way, again, to be doing something nice for somebody that makes you feel good, but just help others out of a servant's heart. Again, where you can get back into servant leadership on this. 8, wish people well. How about that? Just being positive. I love doing that on social media. Reach out saying happy birthday to people I don't necessarily know, but just to say happy birthday, to wish people well or how they're doing. Hey, good to hear from you. If you're in a busy environment, take a moment to stop and notice those around you, right? It's really hard to do that. I know sometimes we got so much noise, so many things going on. We're so busy, we don't take time to notice people around you, especially as leaders. We need to take that time and just go that extra mile, or just reach out, say hi to somebody, wish them well. For years on Facebook, I still do it on Facebook and LinkedIn. For those people that I know, I've connected with them at some point, I will send them a happy birthday greeting on their birthday. Okay. Not expecting anything in return, but just to wish people well. Number 9 is devote time to important relationships every single day. I spend time with my wife, call people up, friends, pastor, your mentors, whatever, have coffee with them if you can. Send someone a handwritten note. We don't do that too much anymore. It's a text or an email, but the connection needs to be personal. I talk to my mentor once a week. I'll be calling. I call him on a Sunday afternoon and we talk. We talk sometimes during the week. So devote time to important relationships every day, because those are where you're, I think I'm gonna call it your security blanket. Things start, if you're having a tough time, you need to have important people there to help back you up, support you, encourage you, all that good stuff. So people who are happy, have strong connections to the community and good friends. And I say, absolutely. Then 10, accept yourself and love yourself for your flaws. Guys, none of us is perfect. I'm not. Okay. No one is perfect. Everyone is still learning and evolving. Again, success is a journey, not a destination. To do this, you need to be open to learning and making mistakes. We all do. We learn from our mistakes. We did messages last week talking about failure. You know, failure is not fatal. Success isn't final. Again, it's a journey, but learn from your mistakes. It's okay to make them. Just learn from them. Don't repeat them. And then lastly, strive to find purpose and meaning in your life. You know, people with purpose are generally happier and more resilient as they are clear about their goals and where they're headed in life. Set short, medium, and long-term goals, each with the right amount of stretch and to-do ability. You know, talking to people, I talked to a sharp gentleman earlier this week, said he was frustrated because he felt like he didn't have meaning and purpose in his life. He didn't have a goal with his job. He didn't see the job as where he wants to go. So that is really important, guys. Hey, today I'm going to do a quick screen share. My call to action is to please reach out to me if you have questions. I'd love to hear your comments or feedback on this. You know, maybe share with me what you're doing on each of those 11 points to create happiness as a leader, actions that you're taking. I'd love to hear from you. So again, thanks so much for tuning in with me today, and have an awesome Monday, guys. Bye-bye.